Someone who hurt your heart is now struggling. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, and there's a reason you paused here even if you don't fully understand it yet, because the universe has a way of guiding our attention when something important is unfolding behind the scenes. Listen to this carefully, because someone who once hurt you, someone who left you confused, disappointed, or broken in ways you didn't expect, is facing an inner struggle right now that they never thought they would have. To confront, don't scroll, because this isn't about revenge, and it isn't about reopening wounds, it's about awareness, closure, and spiritual balance. Listen to this, because while you've been doing the quiet work of healing, learning how to trust your breath again, learning how to sit with your emotions without drowning in them, they've been sitting with the consequences of choices they once justified. Don't scroll, because their struggle isn't obvious on the surface, it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's subtle and internal, the kind of struggle that shows up late at night when distractions fade and the truth gets louder. Listen to this, because they're replaying moments they once dismissed, conversations they cut short, feelings they minimized, and they're realizing something now that they couldn't see before. Don't scroll, because the realization is heavy. They lost something real when they hurt you. Listen to this, because even if they never said it out loud, even if they pretended they were fine, even if they moved forward quickly on the outside, their soul kept the record. Don't scroll, because souls don't forget genuine connection. Listen to this, because soulmate-level bonds leave imprints, and those imprints resurface when growth begins. Don't scroll, because growth often starts with discomfort. Listen to this, because the universe doesn't punish. It teaches, and right now they're in a season of lessons. Don't scroll, because you might have felt them recently without realizing why, a sudden memory, an emotional wave, a dream, or their name popping into your mind for no clear reason. Listen to this, because that's not weakness and it's not regression, it's energetic release. Don't scroll, because when karmic cycles start to close, both sides feel the shift. Listen to this, because angel numbers like 555, 222, or 444 aren't showing up randomly for you. They're signals that change, balance, and protection are active. Don't scroll, because while they're being forced to reflect, you're being guided to rise. Listen to this, because you're not in the same emotional place anymore, and that's important. Don't scroll, because the universe isn't bringing this awareness to pull you backward, it's bringing it to show you how far you've come. Listen to this, because once upon a time their silence, their choices, or their words would have shattered you. Don't scroll, because now you're steadier, calmer, more awake. Listen to this, because healing doesn't erase memory, it changes how memory feels in your body. Don't scroll, because you're no longer reacting from pain, you're responding from clarity. Listen to this, because clarity is powerful. Don't scroll, because here's the truth most people won't say. When someone hurts a genuine heart, they don't escape the lesson, they postpone it. Listen to this, because postponed lessons come back stronger. Don't scroll, because what they're facing now is the emotional weight they avoided then. Listen to this, because avoidance only delays accountability. Don't scroll, because accountability arrives when the soul is ready to grow. Listen to this, because their struggle is part of their awakening, not your burden. Don't scroll, because you are not responsible for fixing them, saving them, or comforting them through this. Listen to this, because your assignment is different now. Don't scroll, because your assignment is peace, alignment, and forward movement. Listen to this, because forgiveness may come, but forgiveness does not require access. Don't scroll, because compassion does not mean self-abandonment. Listen to this, because you learned that the hard way. Don't scroll, because that lesson strengthened you. Listen to this, because the universe protects people who choose growth over bitterness. Don't scroll, because bitterness would keep you tied to the past. Listen to this, because you are being untied, gently and intentionally. Don't scroll, because what's happening now is energetic balance. Listen to this, because balance doesn't mean equal pain, it means rightful placement. Don't scroll, because you are being placed ahead, not above, but beyond. Listen to this, because beyond is where peace lives. Don't scroll, because peace doesn't ask for explanations. Listen to this, because peace settles. Don't scroll, because if you've noticed your heart softening without wanting to go back, that's confirmation. Listen to this, because you can acknowledge their struggle without returning to the role that hurt you. Don't scroll, because you're no longer meant to carry what broke you. Listen to this, because the universe is closing a chapter with grace, not chaos. Don't scroll, because endings don't always come with conversations, sometimes they come with understanding. Listen to this, because understanding is arriving now. Don't scroll, because if this message is landing gently instead of painfully, that's a sign you're ready for what's next. Listen to this, because what's next is healthier, clearer, and rooted in mutual respect. Don't scroll, because soulmate energy doesn't always mean reunion. Sometimes it means redirection towards someone who can meet you where you are now. Listen to this, because you didn't lose love, you refined it. Don't scroll, because refinement is preparation. Listen to this, because preparation always comes before alignment. Don't scroll, because the universe doesn't rush what's meant to last. Listen to this, because your heart is being guarded now. Don't scroll, because if this resonated, if you felt seen, understood, or strangely calm while listening, comment, "I release the past," or "I choose peace," and let that intention anchor. Listen to this, because speaking it seals the shift. Don't scroll, because someone else needs this message too. Share it with them. Listen to this, because healing spreads when truth is shared. And subscribe to this channel if you want to stay connected to messages that soothe your spirit instead of stirring old pain. Don't scroll, because the universe isn't done guiding you, and what's ahead will feel lighter, safer, and more honest than anything you had to survive before. Don't scroll. Stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, especially if after hearing the first message you felt a strange calm instead of anger, because that calm is clarity arriving. Listen to this carefully, because what's unfolding now goes deeper than surface emotions. The person who hurt you isn't just struggling emotionally. They're confronting the version of themselves they avoided becoming accountable to. Don't scroll, because accountability doesn't arrive with noise, it arrives in quiet moments when excuses stop working. Listen to this, because they're feeling the absence of what they took for granted, the safety you offered, the way you listened without judgment, the way you showed up even when it cost you something. Don't scroll, because absence teaches lessons presence couldn't. Listen to this, because they're realizing now that what they lost wasn't replaceable, even if they try to replace it. Don't scroll, because substitutes don't heal the void left by genuine connection. Listen to this, because genuine connection leaves a signature on the soul. Don't scroll, because that signature is being felt now as restlessness, dissatisfaction, and a quiet ache they can't explain away. Listen to this, because they're questioning themselves in ways they never did before, not asking, "Why did this happen?" but, "Why did I choose the way I did?" Don't scroll, because those questions are uncomfortable. Listen to this, because discomfort is where awakening begins. Don't scroll, because awakenings often feel like loss before they feel like growth. Listen to this, because growth requires honesty, and honesty is something they avoided when it mattered most. Don't scroll, because avoidance delays lessons but never deletes them. Listen to this, because the universe is precise with timing. Don't scroll, because while they're being called inward, you're being guided forward. Listen to this, because both can happen at the same time. Don't scroll, because justice in the universe isn't punishment, it's alignment. Listen to this, because alignment means everyone ends up exactly where they need to be to learn what they must. Don't scroll, because you're no longer in the lesson phase. Listen to this, because you graduated through pain, self-reflection, and courage. Don't scroll, because they're just entering theirs. Listen to this, because that difference matters. Don't scroll, because it means you don't need to go back to understand them. Listen to this, because understanding doesn't require proximity anymore. Don't scroll, because you've already processed what happened, even if it took time, tears, and nights you thought you wouldn't get through. Listen to this, because they didn't process it then. Don't scroll, because processing delayed makes emotions heavier. Listen to this, because now they're carrying the weight you once carried. Don't scroll, because that doesn't mean you win and they lose. Listen to this, because it means balance is restoring. Don't scroll, because balance brings peace to those who choose growth. Listen to this, because you chose growth when it was hardest. Don't scroll, because you didn't numb, distract, or harden your heart permanently. Listen to this, because you stayed open even while healing. Don't scroll, because openness is brave. Listen to this, because bravery is rewarded with clarity. Don't scroll, because clarity is what allows you to feel compassion without self-betrayal. Listen to this, because you may feel empathy for their struggle without wanting them back. Don't scroll, because that's emotional maturity. Listen to this, because maturity doesn't crave closure conversations. Don't scroll, because it finds. Don't scroll. Stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've been feeling emotionally lighter yet strangely reflective, like something old is loosening its grip without needing another conversation. Listen to this carefully, because what's happening now is a deeper spiritual shift, not just between you and them, but within you. And that's why this feels different from every other time you tried to let go. Don't scroll, because the universe is closing this cycle in a way that protects your peace. Listen to this, because the person who hurt you is beginning to feel the consequences of emotional avoidance, not as punishment, but as awareness. Don't scroll, because awareness is uncomfortable when someone realizes they were the source of their own loss. Listen to this, because they're noticing patterns now. The way they ran when things became real, the way they dismissed depth for convenience, the way they mistook control for strength. Don't scroll, because those realizations don't feel empowering at first. Listen to this, because they feel heavy, humbling, and lonely. Don't scroll, because loneliness hits harder when it's self-created. Listen to this, because they're realizing that the connection they lost didn't fail. It was abandoned. Don't scroll, because abandonment leaves echoes. Listen to this, because echoes show up as dissatisfaction with people who don't see them the way you did. Don't scroll, because they're surrounded yet feel unseen. Listen to this, because genuine love raises the standard of what the soul recognizes as real. Don't scroll, because once that standard is raised, nothing else fits the same. Listen to this, because they're trying to fill the space but realizing the space was never empty. It was sacred. Don't scroll, because sacred spaces can't be replaced. Listen to this, because they carry resonance long after the person is gone. Don't scroll, because that resonance is what's surfacing now. Listen to this, because the universe doesn't erase bonds, it transforms them into lessons. Don't scroll, because this lesson is teaching them empathy, patience, and accountability. Listen to this, because accountability is uncomfortable when it arrives late. Don't scroll, because late accountability comes with regret. Listen to this, because regret is not weakness. It's insight arriving after resistance ends. Don't scroll, because resistance ended when distractions stopped working. Listen to this, because distractions only silence truth temporarily. Don't scroll, because truth always finds its way back. Listen to this, because truth is persistent, not aggressive. Don't scroll, because it waits until the heart is quiet enough to hear it. Listen to this, because quiet is where they are now. Don't scroll, because quiet can be terrifying for someone who avoided reflection. Listen to this, because reflection mirrors reality without filters. Don't scroll, because they're seeing themselves clearly for the first time. Listen to this, because clarity can sting before it heals. Don't scroll, because healing requires acceptance. Listen to this, because acceptance doesn't mean approval of past actions. Don't scroll, because it means acknowledging them honestly. Listen to this, because honesty is the doorway to growth. Don't scroll, because growth is what's happening for them now, even if it feels painful. Listen to this, because pain doesn't mean failure. Don't scroll, because it often means awakening. Listen to this, because awakenings rarely feel peaceful at first. Don't scroll, because they shake illusions. Listen to this, because illusions once kept them comfortable. Don't scroll, because comfort without truth creates stagnation. Listen to this, because stagnation eventually becomes dissatisfaction. Don't scroll, because dissatisfaction is the alarm clock of the soul. Listen to this, because that alarm is ringing now. Don't scroll, because meanwhile, something different is happening for you. Listen to this, because while they're waking up to what they lost, you're waking up to what you deserve. Don't scroll, because that shift is powerful. Listen to this, because deservingness changes how love approaches you. Don't scroll, because when you know your worth, you stop accepting confusion as connection. Listen to this, because confusion drained you. Don't scroll, because clarity nourishes you. Listen to this, because nourishment feels like calm mornings, emotional steadiness, and intuition that doesn't panic. Don't scroll, because panic is leaving your system. Listen to this, because panic was tied to uncertainty. Don't scroll, because uncertainty dissolves when lessons complete. Listen to this, because the universe does not repeat lessons endlessly. Don't scroll, because once the soul integrates them, the energy moves on. Listen to this, because you integrated yours through reflection, boundaries, and courage. Don't scroll, because courage wasn't loud for you. Listen to this, because it looked like staying when it hurt, then leaving when it was necessary. Don't scroll, because that's growth. Listen to this, because growth always changes relational dynamics. Don't scroll, because people who don't grow at the same pace feel the distance eventually. Listen to this, because they're feeling that distance now. Not physical distance, but emotional elevation. Don't scroll, because you're no longer reachable in the same way. Listen to this, because healed energy is less reactive. Don't scroll, because it doesn't respond to breadcrumbs. Listen to this, because it responds to clarity. Don't scroll, because clarity is the new standard. Listen to this, because standards protect peace. Don't scroll, because peace is what you're choosing now. Listen to this, because peace doesn't require explanation. Don't scroll, Because peace simply exists. Listen to this. Because if you've stopped replaying arguments, stopped craving apologies, stopped wondering why, that's confirmation. Don't scroll, because confirmation often feels like neutrality. Listen to this. Because neutrality means the emotional charge is gone. Don't scroll, because when the charge is gone, the lesson is complete. Listen to this. Because completed lessons don't pull you backward. Don't scroll, because they push you forward gently. Listen to this. Because forward movement doesn't feel rushed anymore. Don't scroll, because it feels aligned. Listen to this. Because alignment feels like trust in timing. Don't scroll, because you're no longer forcing closure. Listen to this. Because closure arrived internally. Don't scroll, because internal closure is the strongest kind. Listen to this. Because it can't be undone by someone else's confusion. Don't scroll, because confusion belongs to them now. Listen to this. Because you've outgrown that phase. Don't scroll, because growth separates paths without hostility. Listen to this. Because separation doesn't always mean rejection. Don't scroll, because sometimes it means completion. Listen to this. Because completed chapters don't need revisiting. Don't scroll, because they need honoring. Listen to this. Because honoring your journey is how you step into the next one whole. Don't scroll, because wholeness attracts wholeness. Listen to this. Because what's coming next will not hurt you the way the past did. Don't scroll, because it won't require you to overextend, over-explain, or overgive. Listen to this. Because mutual effort will feel natural. Don't scroll, because safety will feel familiar. Listen to this. Because love that's right doesn't destabilize. Don't scroll, because it grounds. Listen to this. Because grounding is what you're experiencing now. Don't scroll, because grounding signals readiness for something better. Listen to this. Because better doesn't always announce itself loudly. Don't scroll, because it arrives calmly, consistently, and with respect. Listen to this. Because respect is the currency of healed love. Don't scroll, because you no longer barter your peace for attention. Listen to this. Because that's growth. Don't scroll, because the universe responds to growth by upgrading experiences. Listen to this. Because upgrades don't resemble old patterns. Don't scroll, because they feel different in the body. Listen to this. Because your body knows now when something is wrong. Don't scroll, because intuition is sharper after healing. Listen to this. Because intuition won't lead you back into pain. Don't scroll, because it leads you toward alignment. Listen to this. Because alignment is unfolding even if you can't see the full picture yet. Don't scroll, because trust fills the gaps now. Listen to this. Because trust replaced fear. Don't scroll, because fear kept you stuck once. Listen to this. Because now you're free. Don't scroll, because freedom doesn't always feel like excitement. Listen to this. Because sometimes it feels like peace. Don't scroll, because peace is the greatest confirmation that you're exactly where you're meant to be, and the struggle they're facing now is simply the echo of a lesson you've already completed. Don't scroll. Stay right here and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've noticed a quiet strength replacing the ache that once lived in your chest. Because that shift is not accidental. It's the universe completing a cycle with care. Listen to this carefully. Because while you've been moving into steadiness, the person who hurt you is confronting a mirror they avoided for a long time. Don't scroll. Because mirrors don't accuse, they reveal. And what's being revealed to them now is the impact of choices made without empathy. Listen to this. Because impact is different than intention, and they're finally feeling the difference. Don't scroll, because feeling it changes everything. Listen to this. Because they're recognizing patterns How they withdrew when closeness asked for honesty, how they chose certainty over connection, how they labeled depth as too much when it asked them to grow. Don't scroll, because growth requires discomfort. Listen to this, because discomfort is where the soul matures. Don't scroll, because maturity doesn't come from winning, it comes from owning loss. Listen to this, because loss is teaching them what presence meant, what consistency meant, and what they dismissed as ordinary was actually rare. Don't scroll, because rare things are only recognized after they're gone. Listen to this, because recognition late still counts as awakening. Don't scroll, because awakenings don't run on our schedules. Listen to this, because timing aligns with readiness. Don't scroll, because readiness is what they're building now through reflection rather than distraction. Listen to this, because distractions have stopped working. Don't scroll, because silence is louder than entertainment when truth wants to speak. Listen to this, because truth has been tapping gently, then persistently. Don't scroll, because persistence is how lessons land. Listen to this, because they're noticing dissatisfaction even when things look fine. Don't scroll, because fine is not fulfillment. Listen to this, because fulfillment comes from alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment requires integrity. Listen to this, because integrity asks hard questions like, did I treat love with care? Don't scroll, because those questions sting. Listen to this, because sting precedes healing. Don't scroll, because heal. Don't scroll. Stay with me and listen to this, because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now, especially if you've noticed that the story no longer hurts the way it once did, because that change means the lesson has moved from pain into wisdom. Listen to this carefully, because what's happening now is the final emotional untangling between you and the person who hurt you. Don't scroll, because untangling doesn't mean erasing history. It means releasing emotional ownership of what no longer belongs to you. Listen to this, because they are still processing the consequences of their choices while you are stepping into emotional independence. Don't scroll, because independence doesn't feel like isolation. Listen to this, because it feels like steadiness. Don't scroll, because steadiness allows you to observe without absorbing. Listen to this, because you can now see their struggle without internalizing it. Don't scroll, because that's growth. Listen to this, because once upon a time their mood, their silence, or their distance would have shaken your sense of self. Don't scroll, because now it doesn't. Listen to this, because your nervous system learned safety. Don't scroll, because safety came from boundaries you built quietly. Listen to this, because boundaries aren't walls. Don't scroll, because they're filters. Listen to this, because filters protect energy. Don't scroll, because protected energy heals faster. Listen to this, because healing changed your frequency. Don't scroll, because frequency determines what can stay in your life. Listen to this, because what no longer matches naturally fades out. Don't scroll, because fading doesn't require conflict. Listen to this, because sometimes it's just silence settling into peace. Don't scroll, because peace feels unfamiliar when chaos was normal. Listen to this, because unfamiliar doesn't mean wrong. Don't scroll, because unfamiliar often means upgrade. Listen to this, because you're in an upgrade season. Don't scroll, because upgrades feel subtle at first. Listen to this, because they show up as emotional regulation, clarity, and self-trust. Don't scroll, because self-trust replaces the need for external reassurance. Listen to this, because you no longer need them to acknowledge the pain for it to be real. Don't scroll, because your truth doesn't depend on their awareness. Listen to this, because truth stands on its own. Don't scroll, because standing alone doesn't mean lonely. Listen to this, because it means rooted. Don't scroll, because roots allow growth upward. Listen to this, because upward growth doesn't look backward. Don't scroll, because it responds to light. Listen to this, because light is entering your life now in small, consistent ways. Don't scroll, because consistency heals what intensity damaged. Listen to this, because intensity without care exhausted you. Don't scroll, because care is the new requirement. Listen to this, because you are no longer available for half-effort, half-truths, or emotional confusion. Don't scroll, because confusion belonged to a version of you that was still learning self-worth. Listen to this, because self-worth is embodied now. Don't scroll, because embodiment feels like calm confidence. Listen to this, because calm confidence doesn't announce itself. Don't scroll, because it simply exists. Listen to this, because existence without proving is freedom. Don't scroll, because freedom allows you to witness their struggle without superiority or guilt. Listen to this, because you don't need them to suffer for you to heal. Don't scroll, because your healing came from choosing yourself. Listen to this, because choosing yourself wasn't selfish. Don't scroll, because it was necessary. Listen to this, because necessary choices feel uncomfortable at first. Don't scroll, because they eventually bring relief. Listen to this, because relief is settling into your body now. Don't scroll, because relief doesn't spike emotion. Listen to this, because it steadies it. Don't scroll, because steadiness allows compassion without entanglement. Listen to this, because compassion doesn't require re-entry. Don't scroll, because you can wish them growth without reopening wounds. Listen to this, because you no longer confuse empathy with responsibility. Don't scroll, because responsibility for their emotions is not yours. Listen to this, because your responsibility is to honor your healing. Don't scroll, because honoring your healing protects the work you've done. Listen to this, because protecting yourself is not closing your heart. Don't scroll, because it's choosing who has access to it. Listen to this, because access is sacred. Don't scroll, because not everyone who touched your heart deserves to stay. Listen to this, because some connections exist to teach, not to last. Don't scroll, because teaching connections can still be meaningful. Listen to this, because meaning doesn't equal permanence. Don't scroll, because permanence requires reciprocity. Listen to this, because reciprocity was missing before. Don't scroll, because you felt that absence deeply. Listen to this, because absence teaches discernment. Don't scroll, because discernment sharpens intuition. Listen to this, because your intuition is stronger now. Don't scroll, because it no longer negotiates red flags. Listen to this, because red flags are recognized early now. Don't scroll, because early recognition saves time and energy. Listen to this, because saved energy returns as creativity, joy, and openness. Don't scroll, because openness is returning without naivety. Listen to this, because wisdom now guards your openness. Don't scroll, because wisdom doesn't block love. Listen to this, because it guides it. Don't scroll, because guided love feels safe. Listen to this, because safety is what your heart needs now. Don't scroll, because safety allows you to dream again without fear of collapse. Listen to this, because dreaming after heartbreak is courageous. Don't scroll, because courage grows from healed pain. Listen to this, because healed pain becomes strength. Don't scroll, because strength doesn't harden you. Listen to this, because it softens you selectively. Don't scroll, because selective softness is balance. Listen to this, because balance is where peace lives. Don't scroll, because peace is becoming your baseline. Listen to this, because baselines matter. Don't scroll, because they Determine what you tolerate, listen to this, because you no longer tolerate emotional instability disguised as passion. Don't scroll, because passion without respect is chaos. Listen to this, because respect is non-negotiable now. Don't scroll, because non-negotiables simplify life. Listen to this, because simplicity reduces anxiety. Don't scroll, because reduced anxiety improves clarity. Listen to this, because clarity attracts healthier dynamics. Don't scroll, because healthier dynamics feel different in the body. Listen to this, because your body no longer braces. Don't scroll, because it relaxes. Listen to this, because relaxation is safety confirmed. Don't scroll, because safety allows